Can you beat a level 93 Cryo Regisvine with level 1 characters and no artifacts? Well, if you're asking this random guy in my chat, the answer would be no. But if you're asking me, the answer is absolutely. It's also an absolute annoyance of a fight, primarily due to a major bug in the game revolving around the Cryo Regisvine's attacks. To be more specific on what attacks cause a bug and what exactly the bug is, I'm going to point you towards its massive ice beam attack and the attack it does right before it starts dropping icicles from the sky. Both of these attacks have one thing in common, and that's that it leaves a sheet of ice on the ground in which if you step on it, it does damage. And when you have no artifacts and using level 1 characters, this damage is an insta-kill, so there's no mistakes allowed. So as you're seeing by the footage, when it goes invisible, it makes the whole dynamic a lot more tedious. I got frustrated quite a bit with this. Oh, I can iframe it like that. I learned that last fight, so... What? Is the ice despawned already? What? No, it's glitched out again. How did I get around it, you would ask? Well, there was really only one way. I tried a bunch of different graphics settings, restarting my game. That didn't work. So, I'm just gonna show you what I ended up having to do. 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi.
Motion to compel. The real pyrotechnics. Check this out.
So yeah, counting out Mississippis. That's what I ended up doing. But I only had to do that for the inner circle because I actually have to get to that. Whereas in the outer circle, in the duration that it is, which is 25 seconds, I knock the Regisvine and by the time it gets back up, the circle is gone. So I only have to do that occasionally. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it is still really annoying. Now, I've spent a lot of time talking about the bug, but there's actually a few other things that killed me quite often in this challenge. I actually went back and counted all my character deaths, and in my 11 runs, I died 67 times. From this breakdown, there is a lot of ground pound deaths, or head flop, whatever you want to call it. And that's because for some reason I've forgotten from the pyro that I needed to use Mona for that. So for pretty much everything up until the last run, I kept dying from it pointlessly, which definitely made it more difficult. I want to add this in here. You don't need Mona, but you need to sprint very quickly to stop the ground pound from continuing, because if you're far enough away, it just won't even continue to do it. With ground pounds covered, next on the leaderboard would be the ice floor, but we've already really covered that. So big laser. Now, most of my big laser deaths I blame on Toma, because his iframe on his ult is absolute garbage and is much shorter than all the other three. So every time I time it, I'm timing on the other three when his is shorter, so it gets me killed. Dang, his iframe is so short. That's how I keep dying to that every time. Next up is spin. That one's pretty self-explanatory. That's usually from being careless or not paying attention. The last two death categories are icicles at 4 deaths and mini lasers at 1 death. Now, the mini lasers before the challenge I thought would actually be quite difficult, but they're very obviously choreographed, so both of these were very minor problems in the long run. Alright, that's all the boss attacks out of the way. Now there's a few more things I want to mention before I get into what I did on the last run. First on that list is, boy do I want to mention how much I missed Ganyu. In my Pyro Regisvine video, Ganyu's damage could not be understated, and I felt it here. Even though I didn't have Ganyu, I found this team to work surprisingly well, especially Xinyan. She ended up being my main DPS in between abilities. Her physical damage is not to be underestimated. When I initially started this challenge, I expected to be using Yanfei at almost all times, but what I found that works best is using Yanfei to pop this stupid flowers pimple, and then once it was downed, use everyone else's ability and then just go right into Xinyan and attack it like crazy. Yikes, that was not a sentence I ever pictured myself saying. Alright, last thing I want to mention before we get into the final run is, if you want to see the full unedited footage, there is going to be a link in the description of the VOD. I live stream all these challenges just so no one can say there's some funny business going on or whatever. I have no idea, but I just want to make sure that's always up. Also, this took me about 2.5 hours of gameplay and like 4 hours of editing, so if you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like. Again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the video. Alright. I would say that's like, what, 5% HP? think I have about 5 minutes left. Alright. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi.
Motion to compel. Incinerate.
This game is so easy.
Check this out.
I think 2 more rotations and I win. Gosh, I don't know what's going on.
Fate is upon you.
3 more rotations? Yeah. 2 or 3. It's definitely right around there.
Boom!
Don't get too close.
Feel the beat.
Yeah, no, it's 1 more. It might be now, actually. It might be now, fellas. It might be now. Oh, I just messed it up. No, no, no. Let's go! Let's go, fellas! Cryo Regisvine, done. Finished. Finito. Over. Let's go to characters one more time. Let's go! We did it! I'm so glad it's over. 32 minutes, not bad.